Sales is the most lucrative skill in the world, period. The problem is most sales advice out there today is outdated, cheesy, and could even keep you from the deals that can make all the difference in your career. This is the No BS Sales School, a podcast for entrepreneurs and salespeople who want to master the skill of selling without all the BS. Welcome to the No BS Sales School podcast. I'm your host, Walker McKay. I want to talk today about a subject that is difficult for some people. And it's a nasty word to some people, but I would also tell you that winners love this. And the word is accountability. It is, if you're running a sales team, if you're managing a sales team, if you own a company and you're a default sales leader, you need to have accountability in your sales team. Here's what that means. I ask a lot of owners, what do you hold your salespeople accountable for? And what they tell me is, well, they got to hit the number every month. They got to do X. So they got to get them up to X. And what I tell people is that's great. How it could be one of the metrics. However, that can't be the only one because that is you're looking backwards when you have that number, right? At the end of the month, either you hit it or you don't, but there's no way to know why you hit it. What I mean by that is, well, have you ever been in a situation where you were behind on your numbers and all of a sudden the phone rings and it's a sale for whatever, the short version is it's a sale. And you make the sale, you make your number, and your boss goes, hey, way to go. That's great. You made your number. Go do that again. And the lesson is, damn, I hope my phone rings. I sure do hope that, we call them bluebirds. I sure hope that bluebird shows up again. Reality is, it's not a great way to manage salespeople, especially if they're getting started. The way you got to manage salespeople, especially when they're getting started, is manage behavior. Set out whatever the number is of calls that need to be made every day, every week, every month, and hold them accountable for the phone calls and the meetings that are set, right? Maybe during the interview, say, look, you're going to be making 50 calls a week, 50 calls a day, whatever that number is. And, are you willing to do that? Make it known way beforehand. This is what it's going to be required from you. You're going to make 50 calls a day. You're going to set 3 meetings a week. Blah. This is what we expect of you. Maybe not month 1. You need to be headed into it month 2. By month 3, you should be well on that way. So think about that. And then every week have somebody, turn in the number of calls they made, number of meetings they set, that kind of thing. And then also track the money. Now, again, by checking the amount of dials that they made, the number of meetings they set, there's one of 3 things that can offer success, that create success. Actually, all 3 create success. Number 1 is the behavior, right? It's those doing the numbers, making the calls, setting the meetings, that kind of stuff. The second part is their beliefs. Right. The second part is your belief about yourself, your marketplace, and your company. That's where all excuses are made. And then the third part is actually your strategy and your system and your tactics. So start them, though, with the behavior every single day, every single week, because if they're doing that, something's going to happen, even if they suck at their approach. Even if they've got some head trash, if they're doing behavior on a regular basis, they're going to find business, they're going to find meetings. So start there. So that's the first part. Then also, here's another responsibility the company owner has along with accountability. You need to strip away the things that are keeping salespeople from being successful, the things that you've got them doing that somebody else ought to be doing instead. And again, it's defined different ways at different places. Excess paperwork, bullshit meetings, meaning internal meetings with the company that's not important for them to be there. You need to be taking things away that aren't moving towards new revenue so that the salesperson can focus on that. Take away that excuse, if you will, and maybe in your situation, if it takes a long time to create proposals, let somebody else in the company do that or hire somebody else to do that. You can pay somebody $20, $30 an hour to create proposals for you, but your salesperson, they should be worth, $50, $100, $200 an hour. If they're worth a damn, that's what they should be producing. So take away the little shitty stuff they shouldn't be working on, hold that back, let somebody else take care of it, give the salesperson a clean runway to make the calls they're supposed to make, do the work they're supposed to do. That way, hold them accountable, strip away the extra stuff, the bullshit they don't need to be doing. That way, you can have a winning sales program. I'm Walker McKay with No BS Sales. If you haven't bought my book yet, some will, some won't. So what? Who's next? Check it out at Amazon. Also, if you like this podcast, subscribe to it. Share it with somebody else who needs to hear it. Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening to the No BS Sales School podcast. If you're struggling to close deals, then I want to invite you to take my free mini course, where you'll learn the 7 most expensive sales mistakes that will cost you time, money, and credibility. So be sure to click the link in the show notes or go to www.7salesmistakes.com. That's the number 7salesmistakes.com. Thanks again for listening to the No BS Sales School podcast.